Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking Married at First Sight Season 16, the Nashville reunion. So finally, I haven't done a video for Married at First Sight since the decision day. And I've been doing these recaps for Married at First Sight because I don't usually get bored with shows, and I hate when people complain about, oh, I'm bored with this season, I can't wait for the season to be over, this, and that. But this is the very, very first time where I could say where this season, which dragged on, it's 26 episodes, and we're still not done. 26 weeks of Married at First Sight Season 16 in Nashville. I don't know why Lifetime decided to extend this season. I don't know why Lifetime thought that this group was like the best group when clearly they're one of the worst groups, I feel like. So, yeah, so that's why, after every other video I say I'm going to do Married at First Sight, and then I never do it because I dread it because there's just not really much to talk about. And it's just the same old, same old. So we're going to get started with Jasmine and Aries. So they said no on decision day. I'm going to keep this video really quick, by the way, too. Jasmine and Aries, they sit down on decision day, come reunion. Aries throughout the whole season was just not attracted to Jasmine. And the minute that they got divorced, he started going doing his own thing and started dating again, and Jasmine got her new boo. They showed her new man on one of the episodes after this decision day. They didn't show his face or his name and everything, but during the reunion they talked about Aries' cousin. Remember in the season, Aries' cousin was really nosy. She called Jasmine fake and everything, and they were discussing mostly that. She didn't want to be part of the family gatherings and stuff, and there was just a whole debate. Well, why didn't Aries defend his wife? To his cousin. Well, that's your cousin, and you just met your wife, so you're gonna lean towards to your cousin. But the whole storyline was just off of the cousin, because the cousin was pretty opinionated throughout the season, and I agree that she shouldn't have called Jasmine fake and stuff. But throughout the season, everyone also said that Jasmine should have spoken up a little bit more than what she did, and she didn't speak up much. So, and then Aries just had his own agenda, his own mind and stuff. So, they're friends, but we knew that they weren't going to get divorced. Because they were just, nothing was just coming about from it. So yeah, that was Jasmine and Aries. Next couple is Dominique and McKinley. So Dominique and McKinney, they got divorced as soon as they got back from the honeymoon. They were just arguing a lot. They had a good start, but they were arguing a lot. Dominique didn't like the fact that McKinney lived in the basement. Now, after they had separated, McKinney did move out of Nashville, and Dominique had gotten a dog. And when they met back up, before the reunion, they had mentioned that, and they just started throwing shade at each other. Well, in the reunion, they talked about what could have been. When they had that meeting with Pastor Cal, Dominique felt like that McKinney should have took a little bit more control of how she was feeling and just say, let's brush it off, let's work it out. And instead, he just leaned towards the divorce and ultimately led her to her decision and stuff. And then, I guess they in the reunion, they showed a dinner that they had that never aired. And I guess, McKinney's family unfollowed Dom on social media after they got divorced. And she just kept on calling it petty, petty, petty and stuff and everything. And he was like, yeah, it was a little petty and stuff, but they got divorced and stuff. So, at the end of the day, they're okay, they're cordial, but just wasn't a match. They had the potential, but remember, Dominique, her mom signed her up for Married at First Sight. She was really young. She was 25. She's 26 now. Her mom signed her up for Married at First Sight, and that's why, I felt like throughout the whole season that Dominique was too young for this process. And dating someone like McKinley, there's that. We also seen after decision day, McKinley had his own agenda. Him and Aries were talking, and he said that he had slid in Gina's DMs. And with Gina and Clint, before I go into that, let's talk Gina and Clint. There was just nothing with Gina and Clint. No spark, no romance and stuff. And there was just nothing. Just nothing. The only thing they had was that dog, Hank. Clint really liked that dog. He took care of that dog. Unfortunately, it's Gina's dog, but that was the only thing. They talked about in the reunion about this, how he likes slender, goes after slender type girls that he met on the honeymoon and stuff, which irritated a lot of people. He did apologize for it. And then when Clint and Gina said no on decision day, Clint went on a date with another girl who said that the girl said that she didn't like redheads. So I actually started to feel bad for Clint at this point because he wasn't catching a break with anything. But Clint, he has no filter. He was a funny guy. He did grow on me a little bit throughout the season. Clint did grow, unlike Mitch from last season, because people were saying Clint and Mitch were similar. No, I think Clint grew from this situation and Mitch didn't. So I kind of like Clint better than I did Mitch. But anyway, so Gina and Clint, they're done, But now let's talk about this little Married at First Sight reversal swap. Gina and McKinley eyeballed each other on the honeymoon. And when they got divorced, Gina and McKinley went on a date. The date was cool, not much went on. McKinley had to go to another state, but he really had the hots for Gina. He even told Clint on the honeymoon that Gina's hot. And they felt like Gina and him could have been a perfect match. So at the reunion, Kevin talked to them and said, that day felt really good. It felt like they understood each other better than Dominique and Clint did and stuff. Kevin Frazier, the host, was just like, you just never know with that and everything. But, yeah. And speaking of another swap, the last episode before the reunion, all the cast were together, and they went out to play, like, throwing the axe, and Nicole had said that if you guys missed the bullseye, you have to kiss. Well, Clint and Dominique both missed their bullseyes, and they had like a real passionate kiss. Now, it meant nothing, but that kiss just like, remember, if you go back to my early videos of the season, like 23 weeks ago, basically, and I was saying there's something coming up about that, and that was it. But that's all it was. And they said at the reunion, it was steamy, but, they didn't feel nothing of it. But Clint really enjoyed that, so, who knows. So, yeah, that's Gina and Clint, Dominique and McKinley. Next couple is Nicole and Chris. Nicole and Chris, thank God for them. They were the savior. They were the best couple of the season. They're the only couple that said yes on decision day. Kevin said that this is what the show is all about. Nicole and Chris have not had an argument at all. They have little nitpick things here and there, but they have not had an argument at all. They compromise. Nicole sometimes be getting in her head at times, like, well, he didn't choose me and all that, or she has her little self-doubt issues and stuff and everything, and Chris always tries to reassure her it's okay and stuff and everything. It gets on his nerves a little bit, but we all knew from the start that Nicole and Chris were the power couple they're still the power couple. They said they're still married, still going strong. You know, they had a little wonders that they were going to live together. I think they signed a lease together. Like, I think they're doing really well. Their dogs are getting along and everything. Nicole and Chris, this is what the show is all about and everything. It's not for this all this drama, all this other baloney and stuff. This is what Married at First Sight is all about. So, and I give credit Kevin props. It was funny in the reunion, part one of the reunion, when they talked to Nicole and Chris. Kevin, during the kickoff night special, said that that they weren't going to last, and Nicole saw that. She was like, I want to talk to Kevin, and they proved them wrong and everything. Kevin owned up. She's like, I'm wrong, you know, and I'm glad I was wrong and stuff, basically. So yeah, Nicole and Chris, thank God for them, because they were the savior of the season. So yeah, last couple. Here's the couple that was the head scratcher. The couple that kept us guessing, the couple that they left cliffhangers on and everything. It is Kirsten and Shaquille. Now, decision day, Kirsten said yes, and Shaquille said no. Come reunion, now before reunion, like Shaquille had lost another member of the family, and you know, like him and Kirsten had reached out a little bit here and there prior to reunion to check on each other, but Kirsten was just not having it after he said no. Shaq had started crying, and Kirsten was like, why is he crying? Like, I should be the one crying and everything. So come reunion, you know, we figure out why he said no on decision day. He felt like Kirsten was just not there, like, for him that much, like, wasn't all that supportive in his lifestyle and everything. He's really successful, he's really well educated and stuff, and at times that he wanted her to be there, she just wasn't there. That's why he said no. And I felt like that throughout the season watching them, because I thought like Kirsten in the beginning was a little too much for him, and he just wasn't into that. However, during part one of the reunion and going into part two, Shaq reveals that on decision day he was about to say yes up until he sat down with the experts, and he said a prophet got in his head. Now, he comes from a religious background. He's got a lot of pastor friends and family members that are pastors, and he said a prophet got in his head, and that's why he said no. And I'm thinking, a prophet? Now, I'm a man of God. I go to church every Sunday. I listen to prophets speak and speak over me and stuff. But if you wanted to say yes on decision day, just say yes. Now, come reunion, Shaq also said that he feels like that he couldn't be the man that Kirsten wanted him to be. And Kirsten said that's not true. Like, you were a great man who I wanted you to be and stuff. So, like, you know, like Kevin was pressing the issues. They even brought the experts out to talk to them, Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pia. And is there hope? Is there a future? And Shaq is just like, I don't know. And like Kirsten was like, there's no chance of me and Shaq getting back together and stuff. But then Kevin, the host Kevin, was pressing this a lot, saying, you know, like, you guys were a really good couple, and I see y'all being together. Why don't y'all go on a date? So they were like, we'll go on a date. We'll go on a date. He brought the other cast members out and said, leave them alone when they go on their date and stuff. And they're going to go on a date and see, like, if they can reignite their spark and everything, and see if they can possibly try to get back together. Not all hope is lost. I think everybody wanted Kirsten and Shaquille to stay married, and I thought my prediction was that they would say yes on decision day, but be broken up by reunion. But he said no on decision day, but they're trying to get back together post-reunion. So I don't know. They leave us, they said that is really wishy-washy around what they talk about and what they do and how they feel. Shaq has a lot of things going on in his head that he needs to work out, I feel like. Kirsten, I think Kirsten did grow from this experiment from the beginning, but you know, she does need to be there for him and everything. Now he did move a little bit further away and it took some job offers, so I don't know how that's going to work. So we'll just see about that. So yeah, so and then back to Gina and Dominique. When they brought them out, they said they're gonna go on another date as well. So we'll see how that goes. But you know, when Dominique and Clint kissed at that Axstone thing, Gina was not jealous about it at all. She's like, if I could watch that and not be jealous, that means me and Clint are not a perfect match, are not meant to be together and stuff and everything. And they asked Clint about Gina and Dominique going out. Is this a violation of the bro code? And they were like, no, because like, you know, obviously this wasn't malicious and, you know, our relationships didn't work out and stuff. So, you know, the Nashville cast, they're all really close. Like, you know, I'll give them that. That's the only good thing about this season, was that they are really close. There wasn't no, like, butting heads with other cast members like it has been. Like, I started watching Married at First Sight in season 13 in Houston. And I also watched season 11, like, went back to watch season 11. And season 13, you know, at the end of the day, you had Gil upset at Mirla. Him and Michaela left the reunion early. Then there was that Married at First Sight's first swap with Bao and Zach and everything. You had Marilyn and Johnny, even though Marilyn and Johnny didn't date. Like, you know, there's still some tension there. And then when we had Boston, of course, you know, Lindsay and Alyssa and all of them, and Steve and Mark and all of them. And then last season in San Diego, we had Justin and Nate when they almost spot at the reunion and stuff and everything. So like this was the first season since I started watching. Nobody's had some hardcore beef, but I mean, we still got the Where Are They Now special. They're gonna air Where Are They Now this week, so we'll see. So Nashville season, thank God, is almost over. I'm sorry, y'all, that I have not done this recap because I'm noticing my catfish videos and Married at First Sight videos are hitting on this channel more than my 90-day videos, and I do 90-day the most since it's on year round. But I just couldn't get into it this season. This was the worst season that I watched. Like I said in the beginning, I don't normally get bored watching TV shows, but come on, 23 weeks, 23 to 25 weeks of the show, that's a little bit much. Even American Idol wasn't on that much. Come on, like 23 weeks, and it's just like, and none of only one couple stayed together. Like, you know, if this was like a more successful season, then okay, but this wasn't. This was one of the worst, and you dragged it on for 25 freaking weeks. The kickoff, we're in July now. The kickoff special for Nashville was right before New Year's. It was like 7 months of the show this season, and we're about to kick off Denver here shortly. They did preview what's happening for season 17 when they go to Denver, so I can't wait for a new season of Married at First Sight, new couples, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I finally did this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back on Monday to recap before the 90 days, so stay tuned for that. I love you guys. Have a great day, and happy 4th of July.